Now, ever since I started my channel, I have been looking for one of these at a decent price, but what could it be? Let's find out. Right then, welcome back to the channel. Now, another brand new RC to show you today. This is the Hobao Hyper VSE. Now, I have got a lot of love for these things. I actually had a nitro version of this and I absolutely loved it. So the reason I love these Hypers is the fact that they are quite cheap. Now, this is actually second hand. I managed to pick this up on an internet forum for £85. Now, that is an absolute steal, considering that you still can buy these in their brand new form. But they are closer to the 200 mark, and I have actually managed to bag this for less than half the price of a brand new one. So you may be wondering, why would I want another 1/8 scale buggy on the channel when I already have the likes of the arrma Typhon? Well, to be honest with you, I'm actually looking to turn the Typhon into a bit of a speedrun machine, and that is obviously going to take away the fact that it's an absolutely great basher as well. Now, considering this was so cheap and I sort of jumped to the opportunity, my thinking was to actually turn it into a bit of a 4S basher, something a little bit more calm and compliant compared to the 6S Typhon, because as I say, I am looking to turn that thing into a little bit of a speed machine. So something like this was actually a very good opportunity to build a 4S basher. So we won't waste any more time, let's get this thing unpacked and see what comes included in the box. So the previous owner was kind enough to actually include some spare wheels in the box, as well as some Velcro straps. We've also got some spare parts there. Now, parts availability for these is still fairly good. They have been around for a good few years now, but you can still pick up a good supply of parts for these. We've got some spare chassis braces there, spare battery tray, some shock components, and also the manual. Now, it may have seen better days, but at least it is present. A lot of the time when you buy second-hand models, especially on forums and stuff, they do tend to misplace the manual. So it is nice that we have got the original manual, and that did come in the box. Very nice. Pretty much like I remember from years ago with the Hyper 7. The manuals on these are also exceptional. Everything is in a huge amount of detail, and I really like that a lot. We've also got a little bag of spares here, which looking closer, I haven't actually opened this yet, but looking closely, we've just got a servo horn in there and a few other odd bits, going spare. We'll have a proper look at that at a later time. But overall, very nice of the previous owner to include all of these bits, because again, a lot of the time when you buy something second-hand, especially when it comes to RCs, they very rarely include all these little extra bits, so that was a very nice thing for him to actually do. Right then, so that's pretty much all we've actually got in the box. I think the only thing left to do now is to actually have a look at the buggy itself. I'm very impressed with it. As soon as I got it out of the box, I was very impressed. So let's not waste any time. Let's have a quick look at the Hobao Hyper VSE. So I think the first thing we'll do is talk about the included wheels and tyres. Now, as you can see, these things have seen better days. My plans are to actually change these out. I'm not sure yet what I'll be going for, but I'll definitely be changing these out for something else. They are quite a soft compound. They do have quite a bit of life left on them, but I definitely think we'll be changing these out for a little bit of a different design and a tread pattern as well. I'm not saying I don't like them. I just think we will be better off with something a little bit different. I don't even think these have inserts. I may be wrong, but that does feel very, very soft indeed. So I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be doing with those just yet. Look at these. Look at these bad boys here. These are 17mm in diameter. These things are as big bore as you can get, especially on something like this. Considering how cheap this was, having a set of big bore shocks like this is definitely a big advantage. Now guys, we do have to remember this is a second-hand model, so we are going to have some cosmetic damage here and there. As you can see, this thing has been used and abused, but that is part of the reason why I like this thing so much, because even though this thing has been pushed to the limit, it is definitely held up, as you can see. What I really like about these hypers is the fact that they are well known for being extremely durable. Like I say, my Hyper 7 that I had, that thing was insanely durable. Just obviously, as I was saying about the wear and tear that you can see on this, just looking underneath, you can see on the chassis this thing has been used quite a bit. You can see here that this has had a lot of use. But again, this makes me feel even better about this purchase, because I know this thing has been tried and tested, and I definitely think we will have a lot of fun with this build. So let's talk about styling briefly then. So obviously this has been out a little while now. This may look a little bit dated compared to something such as the arrma Typhon. This may look a little bit dated, but I really don't care about that in this instance, because I know these things are great. It's not always about how it actually looks. I think a lot of the time, especially when it comes to RC, it is mainly to do with durability, how it actually performs, and I know for a fact these hypers perform really, really well. I'm also loving this massive rear wing. I think it definitely helps to set this buggy off. So when it comes to the body, I do quite like the previous owner's design. I'm thinking I'll probably leave it like that, especially until we do actually get this thing fully operational and up and running, and then we may consider changing the body, or, you know, at the very least painting our own body and putting our own take on it. But I think for the time being, styling wise, it definitely doesn't look too bad. Overall, I think it looks great. So I think what we'll do is we'll remove these giant body clips. These things are huge. And we'll take a look and see what is going on under the body shell. So just as I was about to take the body shell off, I did just notice that this is actually reinforced. That's another reason why I'm potentially going to just use the stock body that this actually comes with, because that actually saves me a job. And like I said, overall, I don't think it looks too bad at all. Right, so let's take a closer look under the body shell. Now, the first thing we see is a nice large battery tray there with some Velcro straps. That should definitely be able to fit a nice 4S pack in there. We've also got a sealed receiver box, which is also a very, very nice addition. I do like sealed receiver boxes. We've got space there for our servo. And again, the previous owner has been kind enough to include some screws as well. And we have also got the servo horn, which is in the bag of spare parts. We've got a nice aluminium motor mount, and I believe this is the gearing on this is mod 1. This also does feature the double rear brace mod, which again is quite a popular mod, I believe, and that will help to keep the chassis nice and straight, especially if we do intend to bash this thing quite hard, which I believe at some point hopefully we will. But overall, there isn't really a lot more to actually talk about under the body shell, because this doesn't actually have any electronics, because as I said, this is a rolling chassis. So let's talk about electronics choice then. So my plan is to actually use this old arrma motor that I've got, and I actually purchased this last year for £15. Now this thing is untested, but the person I actually brought it from told me it was tested before he actually took it out of his model, and it worked absolutely fine. It's a 2000 kV 4075 motor by arrma. I believe this is one of their first generation 1/8 scale motors they actually included with their models. There's no reason why this shouldn't work absolutely fine on a cheap build like this. We do need to consider our ESC choice, and I am thinking Max 8 by Hobbywing. But if you have any other choices, or if you think there is a better, cheaper option, feel free, drop a comment down below and let me know what you think would be a good option to go for if we run this arrma motor. But I think a Max 8 will do the job absolutely fine. We need to consider our servo choice as well, because I do want quite a nice powerful servo, because we do have to obviously remember this is a 1/8 scale buggy, and this is once this is fully loaded, this is going to be quite a heavy little buggy. So we do need to consider our servo choice. I'm pretty sure we can have a look on Banggood and find a nice Banggood special for this build. When it comes to the battery choice, I'm more than likely going to be running two of the Avonic batteries that I've got, which will give us our 4S, and I'm potentially going to consider some standalone 4S packs as well. but I think we will discuss this in a little bit more detail at a later stage. So guys, I hope you can appreciate where I'm going with this thing. I know it's a little bit different to what I've been doing on the channel in the past, but I think doing a little project like this, and especially asking for you guys to give me some input and let me know what you think would be the best thing to do with this, you know, I think that's definitely the way to go to get you more involved. Now, let me know what you think is the best thing to do. I'm thinking, you know, we'll go for 4S. We'll turn this into a nice, reliable and durable 4S bashing machine, which we can take along with us when we take the arrma Typhon out. Now, like I said, my intention is to turn that into a speed machine, which is why I think this thing will have a chance to be our reliable 4S basher, especially if we do actually get a chance to take this thing to my local track, which I'm hoping will reopen again very soon. Now, my question to you is, do we leave the arrma Typhon as it is? This is a very, very good, capable basher out the box, especially on stock gearing. It is still running the high-speed gearing, as the last time we took it out, we did try to go for a 70 mile per hour run. We were unsuccessful on that occasion. We did only manage 69 miles per hour. But if you think we should leave this as it is, and leave this as our 6S basher, and potentially just turn this into a speed machine and see if we can get some serious speed out of this, then let me know down below, because I'd definitely like to know your opinion. Now, I have heard that this thing won't handle 6S very well. If you've heard different, feel free, let me know. But I have heard that 6S, potentially our diffs aren't going to be lasting very long on this bad boy. So 4S, fully capable, no reason why it can't handle 4S. And be a very reliable and durable machine. 6S is potentially out the question, which is where we stick to 6S on the Typhon. But honestly guys, I'd really appreciate your opinion on what we should do with both of these buggies on the channel. I'm thinking speedrun machine and 4S basher, but let me know if you think different. So there we go then. I hope you enjoyed seeing the Hyper VSE today. I think this is going to be a nice little 4S build, and we're going to try and do it on a budget as well. Now, like I said, I would appreciate your input on this one. Do you think I should turn this into a 4S basher, or should I turn this into a speedrun machine? Please let me know in the comment section down below what you think would be the best thing to do with this. The price I paid for this, it was an absolute steal. It was one of those offers, you know, it was too good to sort of turn down, and I think we can definitely have some fun with this really cheap buggy. So if you enjoyed today's video, be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all the latest RC content. But not only that, you'll be able to see where this thing actually goes and how it actually ends up. Really looking forward to doing this build on the channel, and I'm pretty sure you will not want to miss out. And as always, like and comment as well, and I will see you again soon on the next one. Take care.